Bible prophecy is active and unfolding daily. Zechariah 12, Isaiah 17, Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38. Here is what the LameStream Media is not telling you.
Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's newscast. From the New York Times, 3 tons of captured Syrian government documents have provided a chilling and extensive catalog of states' war crimes. A Syrian police photographer fled with pictures of more than 6,000 dead at the hands of the state, many of them tortured. Yet, this mountain of documentation has brought little justice. The people behind the violence remain free, and there's no clear path to bring the bulk of the evidence before any court anywhere. No cases have gone to the International Criminal Court. The UN Security Council could refer a case to the court, but Russia has repeatedly used its veto power to shield Syria. The Commission for International Justice and Accountability, a non-profit group funded by Western governments, has prepared 8 detailed case briefs against ranking Syrian security and intelligence officials. 7 of them directly implicate Assad. From Haaretz, the White House announced last Wednesday that President Trump will be meeting the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Washington on May 3rd. The East Jerusalem Al-Quds Daily reported that Trump's advisors have prepared a document to be presented to Abbas, which includes a demand to renew negotiations with Israel without preconditions. The report said the White House will demand that Abbas stop making payments to the families of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli prisons and to the families of terrorists. In exchange, the Trump administration will not act to transfer the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And from the Jerusalem Post, Israel commemorated the 6 million Jews who were murdered by Nazis in the Holocaust yesterday with a 2-minute siren that brought the country to a halt at 10 a.m. Prime Minister Netanyahu, speaking at Yad Vashem on Sunday evening, said, quote, "The simple truth is that in our world, the strong survive and the weak are erased. The lesson is that we must be able to defend ourselves by ourselves against all threats and all enemies." Note, some 189,000 Holocaust survivors live in Israel. Now, I hold in my hands a parts catalog for hot rods, but specifically for Chevrolets, vintage, Chevrolets. But this came in the mail just a couple of days ago. And that is my truck you see on the cover. So, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Especially because, as I speak, my truck is with perhaps the best hot rod mechanic fabricator guy in all of New Jersey. And I'm having some pretty cool things done to my truck. And when I get it back, I'll be doing a little video on that and sharing it with everyone. But also, we have finished our study on the book of Genesis on my Vimeo channel, while we just began this amazing study on my YouTube channel, as I pointed out in last week's news. And this Thursday, just 2 days, The word study on my Vimeo channel will cover the entire book of James, my friends. That video will not appear on YouTube for I think 5 months. But I am telling you, if you have ever wondered why there is suffering in this world, if you've ever looked for a clear answer about personal trials and tribulations, tests, or the temptations that you have to face at times in very uncomfortable ways, and what purpose these kind of things serve, and if you ever wonder about that age-old argument about being saved by works or by faith, a good study of the book of James will set anyone straight. And that's what we're doing this Thursday on my Vimeo channel. Now, if you don't want to wait to see this one on YouTube, just go to watchallen.com. This Thursday, you'll see the link for this study on the book of James there. Now, turning to wars and rumors of wars, on Tuesday, April 18th, from Reuters, Al Arabiya, gunmen attacked Egyptian security forces near St. Catherine's Monastery in southern Sinai, killing at least one police officer and injuring 4 others in an attack claimed by ISIS. St. Catherine's was founded in the 6th century and is located at the foot of Mount Sinai. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Security was put on high alert at tourist facilities across southern Sinai after the attack. And turning to our Intifada update from Haaretz, the Israel Security Agency and IDF military intelligence have stopped 2,200 Palestinians at various stages of planning and preparing terror attacks, mostly stabbings and car rammings, in less than 1 year. That is approximately 180 recognized attempts every month, 45 every week, and more than 6 attempts every single day, my friends. That's 1 attempt every 4 hours. On Tuesday, April 18th, from Ynet News, 2 Palestinian residents of Nablus were arrested near the village of Silwad after they were discovered to be armed with M16 rifles. And on Wednesday, April 19th, from Haaretz, a 60-year-old Israeli man was wounded in a car ramming attack at the Gush Etzion junction in the West Bank. The 21-year-old driver of the vehicle was shot and killed by soldiers. Then from the Times of Israel, 2 Palestinian women from Gaza tried to smuggle explosives into Israel using tubes labeled for medication, taking advantage of an entry permit issued for one of them to seek cancer treatment in Israel. The explosives were, quote, sent by Hamas, and it is believed that they were meant to be used to carry out attacks in Israel in the near future, close quote, the ISA said. The explosives were hidden inside tubes labeled medical materials and were to be used to manufacture improvised explosive devices. Then on Sunday, April 23rd, from the Associated Press, CBS News, an Iraqi unit with United States and Australian advisors was hit by an ISIS mustard agent. 25 Iraqis required treatment. None of the advisors were injured. The attack occurred 1 day after ISIS launched a gas attack in western Mosul. An officer with the anti-terrorism forces said that ISIS fired a rocket loaded with chlorine. From Haaretz, an 18-year-old Palestinian boy from the West Bank wounded 4 people in Tel Aviv. The assailant was apprehended. He had an entry permit issued at the request of Natural Peace Tours, that's a travel and tourism service, for Palestinians. Then on Monday, April 24th, from Haaretz, a female Israeli soldier was wounded when a Palestinian woman stabbed her at a West Bank checkpoint north of Jerusalem. And looking at our review of last week's news, Israel commemorated the 6 million Jews who were murdered by Nazis in the Holocaust yesterday with a 2-minute siren that brought the country to a halt at 10 a.m. President Trump will be meeting President Abbas in Washington on May 3rd. A Syrian police photographer fled with pictures of more than 6,000 dead at the hands of the state, along with 3 tons of captured Syrian government documents of the state's war crimes. ISIS gunmen attacked Egyptian security forces in southern Sinai, killing at least 1 police officer and injuring 4 others. 2 Palestinians were arrested near the village of Silwad after they were discovered to be armed with M16 rifles. A 60-year-old Israeli man was wounded in a car ramming attack in the West Bank. 2 Palestinian women were caught trying to smuggle explosives into Israel using tubes labeled for medication. An Iraqi unit with U.S. and Australian advisors was hit by an ISIS mustard agent. An 18-year-old Palestinian boy wounded 4 people in Tel Aviv, and a female Israeli soldier was wounded when a Palestinian woman stabbed her at a West Bank checkpoint. And that, my friends, is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Abba willing, I'll see you here again next week. Until then, stay safe. Shalom.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sings notations of eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.